to Wolfe Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Knittin' Wolf everywhere.
And I'm James, also known as Wolfe Photo. This podcast is brought to you by Wolfe Farms. You can find us on the internet at wolffarms.net. We have a scent of the month for the month of March. It's lavender. You get 25% off everything in our shop that is scented in that fragrance. That's our soaps, lotions, bath salts, candles. We got a whole bunch of good stuff in there. I know this is a popular one, so you get 25% off that. We have other sale items as well. I think we got our buy two, get one free lip balms and stuff like that. So swing on by, check out our specials section, and you'll find lots of good stuff discounted, or browse through the store. You'll find other good stuff that I'm sure you'll enjoy. So I want to welcome new and returning viewers. Thanks for joining us today. Got 2 pages worth of notes here, so
it's because I blabbered.
No.
It's to help me find, with all the links, because that's...
So as we're going here, as you see us reading through all these notes, and...
Because it didn't space, I don't know why.
It's all Dawn's blabbering.
It's my blabbering, yeah. So show notes are found on the Blogspot page and in Ravelry, in our Ravelry group called Wolfe Farms, Wolf with an E.
Yep.
Wolfie. No, it's not Wolfie.
It's Wolfe.
Wolf. It's the German Wolf. Not an American wolf.
So what's on the agenda for today? I cannot.
Agenda.
Yeah,
the agenda.
What?
So political.
It's a meeting. It's our meeting, our weekly meeting with you to tell you how things are going with our life here on the farm. So.
Yep. So those agenda include farm happenings in the coop, flown the coop, squeal like a pig in the arena, and roundup.
All right.
In the arena is going to be long, and it could be a lot longer because there are so many new podcasts that it's crazy. It's like 4 or 5 new ones a week. It's like, wow.
So
I know there are new ones. It's just I don't want to. The whole podcast could be about podcasts.
Yeah. Podcast about podcasts.
Podcast about podcasts.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So, farm
happenings. Let's get this party started.
Mm-hmm. I think it's all you.
It's all me. Because all you did was work.
Yeah.
Just go to work and
work. Yeah.
So I planted berry bushes. We have a whole bunch of variety of raspberry bushes, blackberry bushes.
And you got some grape. We got
some
additional grapevines as well.
And those are different varieties.
Different than what we
have.
Yeah, these because we have the Thomas seedless grapes already growing at that's huge bush or Thompson seedless. Why are you looking at me?
I had no idea they had a name.
They have a name. Those are the green grapes, and then we bought some. I forget the name of them off the top of my head, but some more purple ones. So.
I just plant.
Yeah.
I stick it in the ground.
And water it. And hope it grows. But I know you guys like the raspberries and the blackberries, so we've got raspberry and blackberry bushes now. So. And
I'm talking a lot. It's not just one bush.
I think we got 10 different 10 plants of various types. So.
And then I got our whole other 24 by 24?
12 by 12.
Oh,
12 by 12.
It felt better when I was out there doing it. Garden completely planted, and so got all that. And there's a ton of stuff. It's zucchini, squash, cauliflower. It's because I'm the only one that likes the cauliflower. What else? Corn, green beans. What else did I stick on that side?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out when it grows. That's the fun part about gardening. Our alphabetic method.
I didn't do alphabet on that side.
Ordering things up, even on the side that we were kind of thinking that way, it doesn't work. So you just got to wait for it to grow.
It kind of has.
Yeah. Let's see.
We know that might be the C category.
Is that the asparagus?
Yeah. Pop. So I've been doing a lot of outside stuff. And which leads to the other fun outside stuff the other morning. I just happened to go out earlier because I have to get out right when the sun is just peeking through to get the electric fence turned off and get the animals out. And it was a good thing that I went out before you could barely see, because our mallard male duck had flown out of their pen area, and he was up against the electric current fence part. So I had to whoop him off, and then he was mad that, he thinks it was hurting him, but he got mad at it and bit on it. So I had to, thankfully I didn't get shocked because the bottom of my boots were rubber. So Poppy Chew, you're gonna let every other doggy go nuts.
Thank you. Come here. Thank you. Let me have it. I'm getting a collection of toys. He's bringing me everything.
Well, at least the ball. Give him the ball because that was quieter. So he's like a little kid. As soon as you get on the telephone, that's when they ask. But that's generally Trouble, our white cat. He meow meow meows as soon as the phone rings. So because the reason why this is at night we lock up our ducks. This is kind of back to the birds. We lock up all of our birds at night, and we have electric shock fence because of the coyotes. So it keeps them from digging under and stuff, keeps them protected. But lately, because it's springtime and the girl ducks are laying eggs, the geese, the male geese and the male ducks have been all ganging up on the one mallard because they're kind of cliquey. So all the ducks that we get at one time kind of hang out together. And then so you got the geese, and they kind of they're clique, and then you got these other ones, and then you got the lone duck that's the mallard, the only one that hasn't flown away for his own sake. So he's been getting beat up. So we actually moved him out into a separate area, but apparently he decided he's going to fly up and out and got outside where the electric fence is, and I guess trying to get back, it kind of So I got him off, and I rubbed on his chest and got him to where he would breathe more normally. And
what came back? I said, look what came back. Oh. The dogs we're playing fetch here.
I was trying to stay away from the whole click thing down here. So, yep, he's okay. And now we have him with the girls, so...
Yeah.
Because they're generally about the same size. Our other ducks are way bigger than this guy, so maybe there will be other ducks coming.
Well, yeah. As long as he's not aggressive, because that was the issue we had. Where we had one girl duck and 4 boy ducks, and we had to keep them separated. So now it's 2 girls against 1 boy, and so they'll put him in his place, I guess, if he's being too aggressive. But we'll see.
So lots of fun on the farm.
Yep, always fun on the farm.
Always fun. Yep. Mm-hmm. So that was about it with farm happenings.
Yeah, we got garden. Oh, and work. Am I supposed to talk about work? About me working?
I don't want to go into it.
Well,
you did extra work.
Yeah, I had to work Saturday.
You didn't do nothing else this week. You've just been working.
Just working.
Real work.
Yeah, I do. I had to work on Saturday, and it was a long day. It started, well, not including all the drive to get there and ready. It started at 5 in the morning, and we got done about 6 in the evening. So it was like 13-hour day and long day on my short weekend.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, well, it's an hour drive on Saturdays because there's no traffic. So anyways, but so I work.
Driving really quick.
No. Why waste time on the road when you could be at work working, huh? So, anyways, but that was my weekend was working podcasts.
Yeah, it's grocery
fun stuff. Yeah.
So in the coop. Yeah. So in the coop, in my bird leg bags.
Question for you. Where is this falling?
I don't know.
So you got the...
Do you want to
what's
talk
cooking?
About it?
I thought you were going to do a what's cooking kind of thing. I got a little... I'll just talk about it now.
Let's talk about it now. You're talking about it.
I know. We've been... at Christmas time, we had talked about getting new pots and pans. This is kind of on the cooking trip. I do a lot of the cooking around here. Don does some of it, but I do a good amount of it. And we've been talking about getting new pots and pans because ours are kind of getting old. So I was looking around on different types of pans and stuff, and some non-stick and whatnot. And we had here, I guess it's been about a month ago, I decided to try, based on what I was reading, I wanted to try a ceramic coated pan, because those are like the new non-stick, kind of thing, because the old Teflon ones are, they're not that great and stuff. So we went ahead and bought a ceramic coated non-stick pan, and I just wanted to, this is not, there's a variety of them out there, different types. You can get the Rachel Ray ones, and they're very expensive. This is a cheap one. This was not very expensive, but it's still ceramic coated, and I gotta say, this thing works great for non-stick. I mean, you don't need to use nearly as much like Pam or vegetable oil or whatever when you're cooking. Just a little bit gets it slick. It cooks well. The kind I got is actually aluminum, so it helps distribute the heat better than like the steel ones. So it's really lightweight and and cooks really evenly. But like I said, this non-stick part on this is amazing. I mean, it's great. And then cleanup is a breeze. You can almost wipe everything out with a paper towel.
Yeah, it's quick.
So if you guys are like in the market for one, or like I said, have issues with your pans, try the ceramic, because it really is non-stick. Now, I'm long-term wise, we'll see how, maybe in a year we can do another review to see how well this holds up. But I mean, so far so good. I mean, I use this pan pretty frequently, just about every day. And after a month, I mean, it's really nice. So we've actually bought a couple more, but this is the one that's not dirty, because the rest I used this morning for breakfast. So, but anyway, so I do, the ceramic is really nice, and like I said, well worth the investment if you don't like scrubbing. Even our old Teflon coated nonstick, you still, I mean, it what?
I thought you were going to get into the thing you just ordered.
Oh, no. Well, I wasn't going to there. I was, but Dawn uses a George Foreman grill to cook Jimmy's and her breakfast or lunch every day, and it's the old Teflon coated nonstick, quote unquote nonstick. It's extra sticky, as nonstick as that thing is supposed to be. It's extra sticky. So we just ordered a new George Foreman that's got the ceramic coated plate. So hopefully that cleans up as well as my cheapy ceramic pan here. Yeah. But Dawn spends 20 minutes, it seemed like, almost in the kitchen scrubbing.
And that's with using a whole can of Pam on it. I mean,
the non-stick on the old George Foreman grills just does not work at all. I mean, it's like extra glue. Mm-hmm. But so we'll try that out. But a couple cooking utensils for you guys to think about. But yeah, definitely, like I said, I'm very happy with that. And like I said, I'm sure if you tried one out, you would be impressed. So,
well, knitters got to eat.
That's true. Why spend time cleaning when you could be knitting? So, anyways, but yeah, I thought I've been so happy with this. I thought I keep saying I should say something on the podcast. So I brought the pan over today so that you guys would be aware of it. So, anyways, but now into the coop.
Into the coop.
Into the coop. So now you can show your knitting.
So in my bird leg bags, I have my Scrappy Happy blanket, and that is, she changed her name. It was Georgie Hallam, but now she is Georgie Nicholson. So, but it's the same pattern I've been showing. And I like this one better than the original, my first blanket. That was Shelley King, but back then when I started it, that was the only mitered square blanket in existence. But, so I didn't do my square today. So that is what's on the needles, and I always use double points. I use them double points, so yep. So it's casted on, so there's this whole side.
Is that your today's square?
This is my today, and then here's all the other ones, which are gnome acres. So And a couple of them I ran out of the yarn that I was using, so I had to tip them off with another No Makers. But yeah, I love working on this. So
your daily dose of knitting, if anything.
Well, it gets your hands going and warming up, and you don't have to think about it.
Just autopilot. After you do that many, after so long, it just whip it out.
Whip it good. So I'm going to put that down here, maybe. So then I'll do this. Running errands today before the podcast, and this is in my studio in the green bag, which I love because it's a double. You can put actually 2 things of yarn in here, and then it has a zipper compartment, which I just love, and then these little guides for your yarn, which works out really good as a traveling sock bag too, because it just really keeps it
there.
Organized. Yeah. And then my matching poo
your
needle,
poo bag.
my poo bag. And it's not too winny. So this is Juliana's Fibers I Smell Snow colorway, and I love this. So signatures 2.25, and then my Dicky Do is there. I didn't do much because I was busy knitting on other things this week, and that was just this morning, so as we were running some errands. So just a little bit, just where I could, because I want to, it's so soft. Yeah, so.
Looks cool. Coming along.
Yeah.
And you like the colorway?
I love the colorway, and it's so soft. She's got a purple that I saw either on, I think, one of her Periscopes. Showed it on her Periscope or podcast, I can't remember. She actually did a Periscoping podcast. Say that 2 times, But yeah, she had, because this is a continuum gradient. It's striping, but it's also a gradient. So, but yeah, she's got a really purple, I'm like, And if you're needing minis, like for the Scrappy Happy blankets, she has minis in her shop too, which are really pretty.
Cool.
So then I had to start a new project because I seem to be doing that this week, and it's for Inside number 23, mislavelia's podcast Knit Along. Now, first time, this is in my Slip Stitch Studios. This is going back vintage. You actually bought me the whole set of this. Slip Stitch Studio.
The Knitting Chickens.
Knitting Chickens. With the Knitting Chicken needle minder. And then you got me the bigger bag. And then the thing that holds patterns. And
the whole kit.
The whole shebang. And she's California girl. She got her own slipstitchstudio.com. And I think she's still on Etsy. She's all over. She goes to all the shows. And the yarn is Sunshine Yarns in the colorway Hogwarts Express. It is superwash sock yarn. How can it be superwash sock yarn when it's 100% merino wool? That don't make sense.
Guess you find out.
I know it doesn't, it's not superwash. The Sunshine never was. This is old. I got a lot of old stash. But it's never bothered me that it doesn't have nylon in it, because I have socks that I started back in 2002 or 7.
You got a lot of socks.
And it was before even Ravelry. And I still wear those same socks that just are merino. I haven't had I'm not fussy. It hasn't done anything. So this is Hogwarts Express, Sunshine Yarns, because she's having a Harry Potter knit along. And then I'm also doing, the pattern is Hermione's Everyday Socks by Erica Luder, and it's a free pattern. And I know everybody has knit this pattern, but I never have. In fact, I started off doing only pattern socks. And it was just like when we started the podcast that I ever did a plain old socks, because that's when it's the funny how this, I guess, knitting styles change.
Yeah.
you know, how, you know, everybody's knitting pattern socks, and then it got to be where you use the trends.
Everybody kind of hops on one thing until it kind of dies out, and then the next thing comes up and cycles through.
Because when I first started knitting socks, it was using 2 circulars at one time, and that's how I learned, which, you know, they say you always go back to how you learn. No, you don't. I hated it. I did it, but I just hated using the 2 circulars, you know. And, you know, and then it was the magic loop, and, you know, it's just funny how the trends go.
What's current, huh?
Yep, so I started these.
Just so you can play with your new needles.
Yes, I wanted to. Did I get these? Did I show these last week?
I think you did.
No, I didn't.
Did you?
Because they're in my Squeal Like a Pig. Squeal Like a Pig too, because these needles rock big time. That's right. I just ordered another pair because they are so
Well,
awesome.
I knew you ordered another one. I thought you
Yeah, I thought I couldn't remember if they came this week. That's why I couldn't start it till Tuesday, because also that's when her knit-along started. But they are the Hiya Hiya, of course, because we've been always a Hiya Hiya podcast. Except once in a while, you know, I do use different needles because I start so many projects. So these are US 1, 2.25, 5-inch. I love 5-inch.
You don't skewer your palm.
Well, because otherwise the 6-inch and stuff are hitting me right in the wrist. And it's like, I'd rather be hit in the fatty part of my hand.
A little easier to control, especially when you don't need that length for
you don't need that
knitting.
many on here. But you know, and I saw that bamboo, you know, these are, look at, I don't know if you can, they look like wood. They don't look like bamboo. I know bamboo is, well, bamboo is really a plant. It's not a tree.
It's still wood, honey.
I know, but it looks like wood. Because I have other bamboo needles that look like bamboo.
Okay, well, but it sounds funny.
I know it sounded funny, but I don't know how to describe it anyway. It's got grain like a wood.
Yeah, well, that's bamboo. It's just bamboo.
I got a bamboo bathroom, and none of it looks like this. So anyways, so then my stitch marker is just a little gold. I think that was from a Wool Girl kit, you know, because I thought it looked like the golden snitch.
Get the theme there?
Yes.
Hogwarts and Hermione.
But, these needles, because I know Hot Pink Socks wanted to know how I liked them. And, they just are so wonderful. They're sharp, but they're not signature. I'm going to poke right through your finger because it did. And I've had to wear my medical tape whenever I've knit this week because they just, and they warm up in your hand. It's like butter. It's like knitting with just smooth, because I have gone on all week about these because I'm like, I was knitting on something else and all I wanted to do, I'm like, okay, I'm going to let myself knit 2 rows just so I can use my new needles. And it's like just so smooth and there's no drag, no catch. And
she's been like this all week about those needles.
Because I've been wanting to talk to somebody and so he's had to hear me. Even Jimmy got the whole about.
It's like wood, even though it's wood.
It's not though. It's because I have Brittany Birch that are wood. Yeah. And they got a drag. It's not this smooth like
that's
silk
the finish.
Going
that's
through
the,
you.
Yeah, that's the finish on the needles.
Yeah, they don't have any finish. Yeah. They look like toothpicks that you just put in a package. And I don't like him as well.
And so you ordered another one.
I ordered another one.
Another set. So
I had Amazon points, so I got them cheap. Or a good deal, not cheap. How's that?
Yeah. Well,
I scored, man. I scored.
Because they only had one left or whatever, wherever you were shopping from, right? So
Amazon Prime, because then it's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good stuff.
So, super fun. I'm enjoying the pet. See, now I can actually knit on it because I have my deadline to me knitting. So,
she sets goals for herself.
They're both so, perfect little sock size. So then in my Me, My Dog, and Some Yarn bag. Oh wait, not yet. Just teasing you. So first, spinning. spinning. I've done
Oh,
spinning.
I gotta film that.
I'm almost done. Did I even spin yesterday? I don't remember. Might have missed a day. But this is Black Trillium Fiber, blacktrillium.etsy.com, 4-ounce merino roving in the watermelon colorway. And I am almost done with this. It's been a fight because I think this is one of the first fibers I had ordered, and it has gotten compacted, so I've had to really have to prep the fiber.
Or it could have been like that when you bought it. It's just it's
I
hard to
can't
say.
honestly say, but
it's been a while, so
it's been a royal pain in the booty to do. But
all that fiber has been hanging out together. It just doesn't want to separate.
Yeah, it's like it's become. You could have literally worn. It was bunched tight, just trying to get it out of the braid. It was only like this.
8 ounce.
4. But I mean, usually it's not so compacted, but it's turning out really pretty. And then I will be doing a whole other merino roving that we got from Village Spinning and Weaving. How do I remember that name? In Solving, California. And so I'll be combining that. Sorry, it's the accent's just coming out. Jimmy thought I should do a whole podcast that way, but I really try to stay away from the accent.
Once you get going,
I know. And
it'll just creep in every now and again.
Yeah, sometimes it gets really, really bad. So almost done with that. Hopefully this week I can get to the other. And then it's going to be really boring for you to see the next 4 ounces because it's just a salmon color. Solid
salmon. Huh?
Solid as a rock.
But then you'll blend it with those two, and then it'll be
and then
nice.
it'll be party.
Yeah.
So, trying to think, is that it? Yep, that's it.
All right.
That's all she wrote. Because I have a flown the coop that I have been busting my butt this week.
She has.
To get done. And
stayed up extra late last night.
Yeah, I did.
Trying to finish it up.
I was like, ugh. So.
Get through it.
So this is, what is this? You guys should probably be telling me because I've been knitting it. Asbury Park Shawl. And this is a knit along on the I Knit to Purl 2 group, which I have linked. And it's Karen Michelle. It's a paid for pattern. Awesome pattern. Super duper well written. I'm trying to get that light not to reflect. And the yarn was Initiatives, which I'm actually putting in my blanket. And it's in the Smarty colorway. How'd you like that? I had that one handy. Bet you thought I didn't. So it is done. And I took the Dicky Doo off because I can remember I did 8 of these points. So, and it's at the biggest section. Woo! So I have not blocked this because I wanted to be able to show it. But the only part I'm going to actually block are these points. I'm going to
open up
pin
the lace
here and just open that because I don't want this garter stitch opened. So, and then I did use it. Is that the cast? Yeah, that's cast on. Here's bind off edge. I used I wanted a stretchy bind off, but I didn't want to use Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off because it is a pucker.
Yeah.
I use it for socks all the time because it's perfect because once the sock is on your ankle, you don't see it.
You need it to stretch.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, what, am I going to use for this? And I really need to start writing in my Ravelry page, which I did last night as soon as I decided on what I wanted to use. I actually used the suspended bind off, which I know Paula from Knitting Pipeline puts on her shawl patterns. But I also not only used that, I used a size needle bigger.
Went up a size.
I went up a size. I don't really feel, I still feel that
tension.
Do you feel what I mean? I feel
yeah.
a stretch, so it's just enough. It's just right, just like Goldilocks,
Well, it doesn't need to stretch too much because it's a shawl.
But there's been some things like the Color Affection
that
shawl.
had no give.
Yeah, that was like, it's going to break.
That seems like it's okay.
Yeah, it has just enough, and the finishing edge just went really well with it. So yeah, that's super happy with how this turned out. It's really, really pretty, and you know, once it's blocked, give me that little tail. So the tail. So yeah, I love this, and I loved it so much. I actually, when we go into Squeal Like a Pig, bought 2 more of her patterns because she had, I think. Why did she have a deal? Oh, it was leap year. Leap year.
Oh, that's right. She had half off on all her patterns.
Yeah. So that was a deal. Plus, she had brand new pattern come out, and it's another one I got too.
Yeah.
So love it. That's awesome. A fun colorway, and I found. I know I mentioned this a week ago or so that, you know, once you even if you didn't do this, because see, that's going to leave a bend. Mm-hmm. But if you roll your shawls after they've been blocked, I don't know what it is. See, that's going to put a line.
Yeah, you need to roll it straight up. Straight up
roll. It doesn't leave any lines, and your blocking stays. So, yeah.
Yeah. Good idea.
Good idea.
Good tip.
So, Squeal Like a Pig. I've already mentioned the Hiya Hiya bamboo needles. Love, 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 love. Can't say. I have never had any problems with any Hiya Hiya products ever. That's why we both use them.
Yep.
You know, that's the. Good. You will only use them because you.
I'm a needle snob.
Yeah.
Kind of yarn snob.
Yeah.
I'm a high maintenance knitter when I get around to it.
So, and I think that's probably why you're not working on that. Adama,
time and
yeah. Well, because you're having to use the big knit picks, and
no.
You usually get a. We like the Hiya Hiya.
Yeah,
never been an issue with any of the joins because we do have the interchangeable set. None have ever broken.
Yeah, everything.
The joins are always, you know, because I've had problems.
They knit good.
Yeah.
They feel well. They work well. The
Hiya needs to sponsor us. Because for
how
many years now?
I know on the cable needle, some cables are too rigid, some are too floppy. Yeah. This one's really it's really good feel for them. So we like Hiya.
That's our choice.
Yeah, everybody's got their own preferences, but
yeah.
that's what works for us.
Yep.
Because it looks like wood.
And these new bamboo ones are just awesome. It's just
yeah, and I get to hear a whole another earful because she's gonna get another set tomorrow, and it's like, what's the next project? What yarn's gonna get caked up and ready to go for another set of socks?
Yeah, well, I'm really wanting, and I have it bagged up. Yarn, needles, everything bagged up because I want to do a bunny nugget for Jimmy for Easter, you know, to put with his little Easter stuff. Even though he's 18, you know, I still do, you know, Easter stuff. And because the Hungry Cat podcast, I almost the Hungry Cat, and he's adorable. Her cat, she's had him on the podcast. Jessie, she is oocha. I always, when I see that though, I think Ocho. Because
oocha.
And she's in Montana, and she's a relatively newer podcast. I think this was number 4, and I just love her. She is a sock knitting queen, though. And she's so enabling. She started this Reckless Friday cast on, and it's like, oh, I must cast on something just because it's Friday, and you know, it's like. But anyway, she's having a bunny nugget knit along, so I thought, oh, that's a perfect little thing, and it'll be fun to join in because I like joining in with all the podcasts. And but she is super duper. I love watching her. See, here's another podcast for you, and it's not even in the arena yet. So go give Jessie a watch, and you'll love watching her.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And so where are we now? Oh, we're still in Squeal Like a Pig. I'm still squealing.
We're getting
I don't even have something on these notes. Where did it go? Because I remember typing it up. Pigs. So the other patterns of Karen Michelle's that I got is the Dryad. Let me show you this. Kind of picture cut off the... Isn't that pretty? And yes, I already got the perfect green that we had gotten on one of the yarn crawls. That'll go perfect. In fact, it looks exactly like this colorway. That, was it Red Barn? She even signed the label. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Way back yonder when we did
We
that
did the
yarn crawl.
That's been a couple of years.
That was episode 37.
Yeah. A couple of years.
The very first LA yarn crawl that we, because we went to practically every store.
We cruised around.
Yeah.
Saw yarn.
Because none of the LA yarn stores are close to each other, really.
No, LA's a big area, and we
You
spread
can
out.
be like 10 minutes away, but just with traffic can take you an hour.
No, we hit up a lot of good stores. So.
Yeah, that was fun. So then the other pattern of hers, which is her new pattern that she just released this week, is the Muirs.
Yours?
Muirs?
Good.
Muirs?
Say it like you know what you're saying.
That's
Everybody
right.
will believe you.
Which it means ocean and waves in Scottish. In Scottish.
Okay.
Did that sound weird when I said that? It sounded weird in my head.
Sounds weird because you're questioning it. But
Oh, okay.
Scottish. That's right.
So, it is just gorgeous. So look
Wow,
at that.
I like that.
Isn't
I like
that
the lace.
pretty?
Yeah.
I knew you would like this. You like knitting the lace. Maybe I'll have you knit this one.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Give me
So-
some Hiya Hiyas.
Yeah.
Then call it done.
So yeah, it's just gorgeous because I was like, I knew I wanted that Dryad one, and then she came out with this, and I'm like, oh, I've got to have it. I need more knitting time.
I like the lace, the lace knitting. I like the challenge.
Yeah.
I like the, one of the things with the pattern that I'm working on now is that it's a lot of the repetition of the same stuff, and then I trying to keep track of where I am in the repeat gets challenging. I need to do some stitch markers along the way just to keep track, but the lace you get kind of variable. It's kind of
because you're trying to watch TV and pay attention to what's going on with that,
I know you taught me how to read the knitting, so you can kind of see, okay, well, I can see where in the pattern it is, and so you can kind of follow along. It makes it a little easier, too, so that's just me. But, I like that kind of, I liked what I've done knitted for you in the lace stuff, so.
Yeah, because you didn't enjoy the hitchhiker. Because
it's a lot of...
back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, not a lot of interest. Keep my mind going.
I think the Zuzu Petals was your favorite.
Yeah, that one's good. Good yarn, good needles, good pattern.
Madeline Tosh Tart.
Of course. That we got from our yarn crawl.
That's true, huh? And that was my favorite store. We went to Wild Fiber. Awesome store.
Good stuff.
Santa
So
Monica.
get you back onto your...
Oh no, we're talking about yarn stores, man. You think I'm going to go back to talking about the pattern? So yeah, I got some super duper patterns, so you'll be hearing about those sometimes. Although it's like patterns just, you almost can't sleep at night because you start seeing, ooh, this, and then you start going to your stash thinking, oh, I can use that yarn. But
Well, see, that's the way you do. You can't just grab yarn, grab a pattern, and go. It has to go together.
It has to flow.
Yeah.
And even my Hogwarts yarn matches my chickens and stuff
See,
on here.
that's-
I didn't have a heart.
Some
and it's
people-
funny because I know
some people-
Cookie Lady Knitz is saying,
I know.
hey, the bag's
Like
not
mine,
matching.
like mine's think alike, right? But some people don't care that the name of the yarn matches the pattern and stuff. That's
It's very important to me.
I know that.
I get all
Just saying,
twitchy if it doesn't. It's like, oh, why did you?
Some people don't have dreams at night about trying to make their yarn and patterns and bags all align. But now you know what happens behind the scenes here at Wolfe Farms, right?
Oh yeah, you should see in my yarn area, I have yarn actually lined up for I will mention the pattern in a minute because I'm really wanting it bad, but I've already bought 2 patterns this week and I'm like, I really shouldn't, but I really need it.
So you got yarn all waiting for you
to
justify to actually buy the...
Okay, I'm just going to go there because it's the Windy Sky pattern and it's a new podcast, the Periscoping Sisters, which is indigoamy, and she's just had a pattern at the first of the year. It's because I love you. Something I love you. and I put that one instantly went in my queue. But her sister, which is debbyreece, and they're on YouTube. They have their very first podcast up. Awesome. Debbie is a California girl, and Amy is a Georgia girl. But Amy came out here for Debbie's birthday. You wanted to know about them. Go watch their podcast. Anyways, Debbie just released, it's called Windy Sky Knits, and it's in honor of her sister Windy, because when her niece would say, there's a windy sky, because her sister passed away when she was 35. And so, of course, that's like, And so the pattern is a 2-color shawl, and it is just gorgeous. Well, I have the perfect rainbowy yarn from Australian Solar Flare Fibers. I could think of Fifi cans, but I couldn't think of the name. And it's a rainbow. And then I'm trying to decide what to pair it with. Because I have a New Moon that's Forbidden Woolery or something that we got on a yarn crawl, which looks really pretty with it. But then there's this pink that really drags the pink out of it. So I have all of these setting up here because it's the New Moon name is just not flowing with this rainbow. It's like Winter Rainbow or something like that. The pink has something to do with rain. And I thought rainbow, it goes together. So
close enough.
It has to all flow.
Yeah.
Because once you get that flow, it just, the whole pattern just goes. And you just want to grab it and I must knit on that right now. And it excites you. It should. Your knitting should excite you. It shouldn't be, I got to get that knitted,
You've had patterns like that.
Yes, I have. And so...
It's like gritting your teeth every time you have to knit.
Yeah, so I'm really wanting that pattern bad, and but then there's this other yarn called Nargles, which is a sunshine yarn that if I used that yarn, I could also enter it in the inside number 23 because it's still Harry Potterish. And so I have all these yarns lined up, and I'm still perusing,
surveying
which one's calling out, but yeah. Periscoping Sisters, you've got to go watch them, and they're really nice, because they interact with you when you comment to them, and that just really draws you to them. Their personality really draws you to them, and they're hilarious. They talk about their families, and it makes you just start cracking up because you know how families are, and so it was really fun. It's like, oh, I think we might be related, And so another duo podcast is Legacy Knits. And I can't remember. They have about 14-ish. Maybe not that much. Maybe. I know they're like after 10-ish. I can't remember how many exactly. And that's with Knit24, which is Sue, and which is the mother, and then Chelseaknitz, which is the daughter, Chelsea. And it's a mother-daughter duo. It didn't start off that way because I did go back. It just started off with Chelsea, and then like 5, I guess you didn't start off either, but, about 4 or 5 episodes in, Sue started in. And Sue periscopes every single day during the week.
Oh, wow.
I mean, dedication. I mean, it's like, wow, And they're on like the East Coast, and I'm a morning person, so it's like perfect timing, because that's my one little bit of knitting time. So unless I'm having to rescue a duck or something, then it's like, oh man,
farm distractions, huh?
Or someone's hogging all the bandwidth, which is because Periscope sucks that up big time.
Streaming video, yeah.
Yeah. So their podcast is fun, seeing the mother-daughter interaction, and seeing the yarn stores on that, because they've gone to a yarn store, which I really want to go there. And so they're really fun to watch, and so go give them a look if you haven't watched them. I know everything's turning towards the YouTube, so that's where we're finding. There's a new podcast, which it really isn't new, so new to me.
New to you.
Yep. So then, and I will have their Ravelry names on here. I will have their Ravelry group, so you can find all their information, because everybody puts their stuff all over, and so I will have it all linked.
Yep. In one spot. So
another sister act is the Grocery Girls. And I know Sue Family Diva messaged me about them, but I hadn't had a chance yet to mention it on the podcast. And this is a sister team that they live in Canada. And it's tracieknits, which is Tracie, and mrsbrownbags, and that is Jodi. And they're really fun. And they use a lot of Canadian indie dyer yarn, so it's neat.
It's local to them.
Local to them, thank you. That's the word. And they have a family grocery business, so they all work together too, and they still all get along, which is really cool, because you could really see, if you didn't, that would really suck to have to see them every day. But their relationship is really fun to see, and they're a joy to watch and funny, and so their YouTube also, and there's been a lot of Canada podcasts lately that I've been finding, and it's like, oh, that's really cool.
They got cold weather, so there's a lot of knitting that comes
Well, because
up
it used to be just Sadie, Blue Yarnivore, original Canada podcast, and then the Two Tangled Skeins, those were the really only ones. Then it was the Canadian knitter, but I am just throwing out the podcast today. But now there's like boom, 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 it's like, because I think the other one I'm going to mention, Pinfeathers and Purls Candace, I think she lives in Canada too, or Calgary.
Calgary is Canada.
I know it's in Canada. It's over yonder that way.
So.
What was that? Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. Well, the dogs are right there, so I don't know who that was. So anyways, Pinfeathers and Purls, which is Candace. She's transitory on Ravelry and Instagram. And she's having a stripy sock knit along right now also. So she's been, I just found her and watched just a couple of her podcasts, so I'm just getting to know Candace, and it's been really fun. She has a bird, I can't remember what kind of bird. Usually birds, they see my hair and they attack me. The birds, they're drawn to the red, so it's like, ooh, because she has it out, and I'm like, oh man, that sucker would get me.
Like a cockatoo or something like that, parrot?
I can't remember.
Okay. Our birds are outside, so
Yes,
they don't mess with your hair.
Yeah, they don't. Although that hawk sometimes gets pretty darn low, which that would really make me run for the...
Having a face-off with the hawk out there.
Yeah, so those are some video podcasts, but there's more. And really, there is more that I could be mentioning, because I have found so many new ones, and I've had this a little bit extra time with Jimmy going to school. Or I take the little bit of extra time, and really, even if it's video, I know used to be the big, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, that you can't watch video. I do, you can still listen. I do them as a listen, and if there's something, it's like, ooh, I don't whip them out of my boob. I have this little thing that I carry it around with.
Your little knitted phone holder that you put around your neck.
So I will whip it out just to see, ooh, I want to see what those socks look like that Candace is knitting, or whatever, So even if there's a ton of YouTube ones, and if you put it on low quality, it doesn't suck as much bandwidth.
We have bandwidth issues if you're...
I have a gamer teenager, so we're always sparring with the bandwidth. So this has worked out good. He can still be doing that, and I can still be doing
Well, he not only games, but Netflixes at the same time, which...
Oh, yeah, he's got a couple different screens going all at the same time.
He uses about 95% of our available capacity.
Yeah, so...
Sometimes 100%, so...
So that is another way to do it if, you're wanting to try these newer podcasts, and there are so many, just listen to it, because we're just sitting here jibber-jabbering. There is nothing for you to be looking at,
Until we start showing all of the,
Yeah, and that's only like 5 minutes of the whole podcast, so, But, so the next one is an audio, and it has been at least a year, and it's called Twisted Stitches Podcast. And it is audio, so you can download it. Because I've gone back to their full, I think there's 32 episodes. I went and downloaded them all because it is that good. And they're local to me, and they're Los Angeles based. We're here in California. Southern California, not just plain California. We're Southern California. So all of us have Southern accents here in California. Just kidding. Anyways, it is Fish Girl 182 and Kimberlybuggie, and it's Twee, spelled Thui, but aren't you so proud of me, Twee, that I got the name right? You're probably thinking, wow, I'm surprised she got the name right. And then Kimberly, that's an easy one. I can remember that one. But they are so nice, and it's so cool to hear them mentioning stores that we've gone to, because we don't have stores near us at all. No. The closest is 45 minutes.
Closest is the internet, where you just order it and have it shipped.
That's true, and it's much easier. But sometimes you need those yarn.
Yeah, you got to go in and touch and feel, and you know, you just can't do that on the internet.
So it's neat to hear them talk about the different, stores, and they talk about books they're reading and shows they're watching, and one of them was watching Hannibal, and we're finally to the end of Hannibal. This has just gone so far off the deep end that it just went.
Yeah. But we can't
Anyways,
just stop.
Yeah, we gotta finish.
We have to watch it through. Make sure that we see how it ends.
Yeah. So they've mentioned a couple shows that I'm like, ooh, went and added to our Netflix queue. So it's been really fun. So yep. Mm-hmm. So go give them a listen, and I hope you enjoy all the And there's so many podcasts that if you don't just keep your comments to yourself, find one you do like, Goes back to, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all,
Yeah.
Listen to your mamas.
Mm-hmm. Were you going to mention something?
Oh, yeah. Back to Squeal Like a Pig. I started talking about that pattern, the Windy Sky pattern that I totally see.
You got sidetracked. I'm bringing you back around. Yeah.
So I did get a Squeal Like a Pig in the mail, and it just came yesterday because you got home so late I didn't even get to show you. And so this is from Tina T. Savage. I think it's just T. Savage on Ravelry. She doesn't have a shop, but she really should. She does beautiful sewing. She has done quilting, and you can tell because this is just beautiful.
Well put together.
So she just sent me this bag just because, and look at this. Look at this. Little froggies. Little Fuji frogs. So I love how, look at the detail. This is how you can really tell she's done the quilting. It's, almost like is that called a binding? I'm not good with sewing. I can barely do a straight line. I've made pajama pants and skirts, but that's as far as...
Well, you had someone trying to teach you, and they were kind of sitting there with you.
Yeah, that really helped. So, inside of the bag is this purple, like she did on the side here, which will be perfect for... Yeah, I love the handle. And then the detail, everything matching. So see, I need to start another new project because it's a new bag.
That's it.
And I see, this is how we round and round we go, because I thought frogs, in Harry Potter there's the chocolate frog candy, so it would kind of be I know, crazy, but it's so cute and so special, that she thought of me. So
awesome.
Isn't that cool? And green, yay. So thank you so much.
Colors.
I know. It's just super sweet. And I always love the messages, the notes, and I save them all.
She does.
Well, I got a joy box. And this goes back to a Barbara Johnson book that I read years ago. She started off with this joy box. And she's a Christian author. And, when you're kind of feeling down, I know I'm going on a tangent. Just let me tangent, honey. Just sit there.
go for it.
Well, this could be
It's
very
okay, it's
beneficial for somebody.
Don't need to justify.
Anyways,
just
when
keep
you're
going.
feeling down or blue, or and you dig out this box, and it could just be pictures, that you've taken out of a magazine. Oh, that makes me happy. Or you find a postcard and it made you smile because it had a cat going like this or something, or precious notes from friends in the mail, like this. You put them all in there, and it's such a pick-me-up. You open up this box and, you could do this with journaling too, have a journal. Because I know Knitworthy Podcast has done, she's starting this journal where she's chronologically, that doesn't even make sense.
What are you talking about? Journaling.
She's journaling. She is amazing. Mama Linda. And Stony Brook on Ravelry, if you want to be correct. Find her, hunt her down. But she'll do this in her journal and, write down what made her happy, like if her granddaughter drew her a picture, or, you can do it journal form, or this joy box. And, Barbara Johnson, who did this, the author, where I had first found this idea, she literally had to make a joy room. She turned a whole room into, because she would end up getting things sent to her, and she would want them displayed. And I actually did this. I am going all over. I actually did this in my craft room, where I hung those little clips.
What are those? The 3M.
Where you can rip them off the wall.
Where you pull the tab. There's a name for it.
They're little hangers.
Yeah.
So I can hang my whips on there. Plus, it keeps the cats from whizzing on them. And because I took a picture and sent it to him, and he goes, "What are you trying to do? Make target practice for the cats?" And I'm like, "Well, that's one reason I'm hanging them on the wall so they don't." But so I am all over. So make a joy box. I know that just went from one end to the other.
This is how it's been going all day.
Because I didn't have you to talk to all day yesterday.
It's all welled up because I was not here to.
So you get my vomiting at the mouth. So, see, I should have just turned on the camera and just talked to you all.
Yeah.
That'd drive you crazy. So did I finish my whole thought? Because sometimes I don't. See, I had to explain to Courtney the other day about the old man in Walmart. Because I never completed my thought about that. And I didn't knit in Walmart today because I didn't want to pick up an old man.
Okay. Are you done? Okay.
I'm starting to get on the roll, though, honey.
Well, I know, but you're rolling all over the place. And
I know.
Focus.
So our roundup.
Yeah, we're in roundup now.
He's rounding me up.
Yes, I am. I'm looking at the clock. And
I know.
Getting
to
it.
I didn't think it would be that long this week. It's because you talked about that pan.
Okay, roundup.
Winter hatchinette. We've been having a hatchinette for a long time, but now we have switched it to a quarterly one, which is why it's called a winter hatchinette, because it goes from January, February, March. So, and I will have the link to that. And that's any project you finish, whether it's knitting, spinning, weaving, sewing, crocheting.
Fiber,
stick it in there if you finish it. So any other knit along project is fine to stick in there.
Yeah, as long as it's a finished project.
Because we don't want
if you finish it during that 3-month period, put it in there. We'll get prizes that will be given away for that.
Yeah, we got prizes from Packing Knits Design. We got prizes from Left Field Knitter. We'll be entering the
we'll have
prizes, and so we also have our YouTube 1,000 member Wollmeise giveaway. So if you are a YouTube subscriber, you could potentially be the winner.
If you're not, then become a subscriber and you could possibly win.
Yep.
That's the whole thing, because I know we've got people that watch from other venues such as iTunes and stuff that may not subscribe there at YouTube, but we're trying to build up our subscription
that way.
So.
Yep. So I think that is about it.
All right. So remember, you can get a free Wolf Farm video podcast button with any paid order at Wolf Farms. Just ask for that in the comments section. Also, last week I mentioned that I would be having a pick of the week button. Unfortunately, I didn't do it, but I will edit it in so you see what that button is. That's good from Monday when the podcast goes up through Sunday, next week Sunday, that you get the free button with any order. Just ask for that in the comment section. Say I want the pick of the week button in the comment section with any order, and I will send that along with you with your order as well. So you get to decorate. It'll be a little more focused on the image and not all of our podcast wording on there. So, but I'll get that up and edit it into this because I don't have it handy. I was thinking about that after we pushed start. I'm like, ooh, I would meant to do that. So
You grabbed the pan.
yeah, I grabbed the pan instead. You want a white ceramic button for your? That's the pick of the week. Is me with my pan. No, just kidding. So I'll edit that in, and like I said, in the comment section, just say I want the pick of the week button, and like I said, any order, just ask for that. We'll ship one of those along for you. But I think that about does it.
So, until next time.
Let's get cracking
And hatching it.
Bye, y'all.